Good morning. Welcome back to another episode of tweaking my Tetris game. I was having a read me, and I think I might be about to make an executive decision that we're going to cut quite a lot of this out. That might even move that one. Mostly, I was thinking about it, and I don't think the game idea is fun enough to spend all that much more time on. I'm not super excited about it, if I'm honest. I don't know. I think the idea sounded fun, and it's kind of just tedious, actually, if you play with weird pieces. So, what I was thinking we do is our game over behavior is currently just super broken. We'll go fix that. And I found a bug. That I think we should investigate and try and fix. We might call it finished and move on. So I've got other stuff I'm more excited to do. So, I think that sounds like a plan. For this bug one, I think I found. So if I come in here and we run the game, come in here, do all the sort of normal stuff you're able to do. You hit escape, invalid type assertion, yada yada yada. And I think we are going to care about that. So let's have a look. My God, where would we be? So we just rep for escape. Fair play. I didn't capitalize it. What are you doing here? If key event dot type is escape, we exit to menu. We don't have a menu state. What do you take? Pieces. So I think that should fix it. Basically, we just never told it. Yeah. Come in here, we change pieces, so it's not the default. So it works. Cool. Let's just go mess all of these up a little bit so we can see it. Yep. Nice. Alright, thought that'd be easy. And it was easy. Alright, so our game over behavior. Currently, I think it will just sit there looping forever and get nowhere. Alright. I think we've already got stuff in state to tell us if you've game overed. So, again, hopefully, quick win. And I think it'd be nice to add like a different sound effect on game over so that, I know, it feels different. Right. Where are we looking then? Go look in game. We've got our game state. As a has lost behavior. So game.odin state.odin. In here. So deactivate piece is called when a piece's bottom hits another piece and it locks in place. And if the bottom of that piece's bounding box is at or above grid height, then we game over. Which seems reasonable. It is checked in game update So I guess we start with handle game over. Because if we automatically lower piece, if we clear filled lines, all of this doesn't need to happen if you've game overed, right? Which would then mean we can get rid of that. So if game state has lost, do a thing. And return. Is this just what we call in the main loop? Go here. Main.odin. Yeah, it is. Right, so we poll events. We do game update to do all the automatic updates. Then we handle your events. Then we populate entities and draw them. Cool. Okay. So. What does that do right now then? We'll see. I think it'll stop it playing the noise over and over, which is kind of nice. So let's just pile pieces. Okay, so the key presses are still... Then it just dies. It freezes. Okay. So... I guess our logic change all lives in game screen popular entities. To say this is what we wanted to do if you haven't lost. What's a reasonable behaviour look like then? I guess it's nice for it to leave the grid so you can see what it looked like. I want to leave your score so you can see what your score is. Maybe what we do is we replace these two with game over and a button. Which I think we can do. Get fitted grid pod dim entity push that. Is it our game panel that we want to mess with? Game panel entity. Then says if you want to draw a game panel, you do all this stuff. Okay, so let's do has lost ball. Which we'll put on the end of this. So we're in here. We now know if we've lost. Data, entity data. Has a bunch of numbers. We always draw the score. In here, if has lost, does one thing. Else, all the rest of this. Tanya. Oh, why is it doubly indented everything? If I do that. Wait a second. Was it always doubly indented like that? No, I think it was. Yeah, no, I think we've just got 4 space indents. Difference between these two? No idea. So if you've lost, I'll probably do it straight away actually. What do you have to do? So instead of draw number, to draw text, what does text take? It takes an entity. Draw string as we want. Types for strings are all a bit annoying, so I tend to pull one of these out, and then the compiler just works it out based on stuff. The game over string is game over. Not your problem. I didn't fix it. Okay. Drawstring. To do this little dance, transmute to a slice U8. Can't remember why we had to do it, but gotta do it. Alright, so that's score pos, score dim. Alright, so entity pos into dim's wrong. We need to do this. Game over pos. Game over dim. What do I want to say? The dimensions actually probably can just be the same as the score, right? Your position. I say x is equal to score pos.x. Y is equal to score pos.y minus game over dim.height. Game over dim.height. Got any padding? So we use this top bottom margin everywhere else for padding. So let's just do that. What do I call it? It's in here somewhere. Panel top bottom margin. Alright, let's see what that does. You, sir. Game state has lost. Alright, so we're in here. We drop loads of pieces. You just get a nice game over. And we want a button to take you back to the main menu. Oh my god, something is broken there, isn't it? I wonder what that is. Let's add our button first, because we're in the right place for it. We're in here. And then what do we want to have? We want to have an exit button. Dimensions, I think, will just be the same as the score dim. Exit button position will be the game over position. Well, we'll have to tweak some stuff, won't we? So pause, game over, pause. That's what you're doing. Game over, pause X, Y is game over, pause Y minus its own height. Let's get this bottom left corner. Minus the padding. Exit stir can be exit. That's interesting. I don't think it makes sense to put a entity. So we could push. We have a text button entity that if you push it, will be thingy. But we're currently too deep in. I don't think that works. I'm just going to make to exit. We're getting very low effort there. Rid of that. Transmute U8. What else does that need? Needs the position. It's your problem. Drawstring, transmute. Needs a U. Needs a Z value even. Which means that isn't really a button. My god. Do this. So. Lose the game. S-text, exit. Ah, interesting. Okay, so it does work there. If I move my arrows around a bit, I break the game. I wonder what's doing that then. Right, can we go look for left? So when you press left, is it worth saying in here, if the game state is game over, only the escape should do anything? Do it up here. If game state something like that. And we're just going to grossly copy as our escape bit. if key event type is a press, key event car is escape, exit menu, and die. I don't really want all these other things happening if you've already lost the game, right? Everything's working, all our buttons work as expected. Escape to exit worked. I come in here, lost the game, not making loads of noise. Escape to exit works. Excellent. Do think I said I was going to put a noise on it. Let's have a look. If I do a grep for play piece, we find everywhere that he calls them. We know where the move sounds are all used. We have a clear sound and a lock sound. Won't play if you've lost. In which case in here, play a sound. Alright. So play game over sound. Is there a like project shotgun that is Control X P bang? So Control X P bang. LS assets because I can't remember the name of everything. I have crunch and crunch high. So let's go ahead and make assets / crunch wav. And we'll go back. Where even was it? Handle game over. Play game over sound. I should do it. Okay. Probably not what we actually want. Yeah, I guess we call this over and over, don't we? We can have a bit of state that just says whether it's played the sound or not, or I guess we could look for where this is set and call the thing in there. You're in here. You have lost. This is global, so it has access to it everywhere. Alright, let's try again. Not sure it did anything. Ah, okay, did that time. What happened that first time? Don't know. I'll tell you what though, given we're shortcutting to an end, I think that probably does us. And then yeah, like I said, I think these are all good ideas. I think for playability, I would do that one first. But I don't know. I'm just not that excited for this idea anymore. Now I've played with it a little bit. I don't think it's that fun. I've got other stuff I'd rather be doing. And I'm very time limited for how much of my own fun program I get to do at the minute. So I think I won't say we're killing the project, but I will say we're going to call it done here, unless I don't know, we get real hangry to come back and play with it some more. I don't think any of these bits is like hard in an interesting way. It's just more stuff that it would be good to put in if we cared about it being good. But hey, like I say, I've got ideas for other stuff, so maybe the next video will be doing something else. Which I guess means we call this a job done. I hope you've enjoyed being along for the ride. And yeah, I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.